Here's a circle of rope and an embroidery hoop. The rope's hooked over the lady's thumbs. Now, the idea is to get the hoop off the rope without taking the rope off her thumbs. Impossible? Not at all. The hoop circles both strands of rope. Pick up the lower strand and circle the thumb, then pick it up again on the other side of the hoop and circle the thumb once more. Presto, the hoop is free. Back to your embroidery, miss. Once you corral a man, gals, don't let him get away. Tie his wrists with a handkerchief, loop a rope around it, and lead him off. Oops, she loses more men that way. Nothing wrong with that knot, but watch his fingers as we view him from another angle. He grabs the rope with his fingertips, draws it forward, slips it over his right hand. It pulls out behind the handkerchief. Okay, try to get out of this one. Pick a card. Any card. The king of spades. Back into the deck it goes. And into the hat. But it's not lost. A flick of the finger at the bottom of the hat, and presto, the king of spades. The chosen card is on one side of the fold, the rest of the deck on the other. Snap the right side, and there's your king. Pretty girl, pretty flower. Made for each other, of course. You want it? Smells good. I got 1,000,000 of them. Show you how it's done in a moment. The second flower is kept in the breast pocket. A thread runs up to the buttonhole, through it and the coat, to the inside and down to the waist. A yank on the thread at the proper moment brings it into position. Here's one to try on the man sitting next to you in the doctor's waiting room. It's at least as entertaining as last year's medical journal. What's the matter, Joe? Don't you know the magic words? Ha! A black thread is fastened to the back of each leg at the knee. For clarity, we've substituted a thick string. Spread your knees. King comes toward you. Here's the world's most foolproof egg vanish. Everybody agrees it's under the handkerchief. Still there, isn't it? Do you feel it? It's bound to turn up missing. How it's done, in a moment. Did you pilfer an egg? You? Then it must have been this innocent fella who snatched it when he pretended to feel it. Not exactly cricket. This is the way magicians make a living and amateurs make a hit, especially with the young generation. Any old box will do. It has to be empty when you start, and when you're through with the abracadabra alakazam, have a rabbit in it. The rabbit is there all the time, of course, fastened by a piece of string to the cover. But the box is manipulated so as not to show it. Guaranteed to fool the small fry. Here's a bit of nonsense entertainment that's surefire when your house is host to a bunch of youngsters. Half Pint here always wanted to go on the stage. Song and dance type with plenty of high step-in. Whoops. A rear view of the Monkey Shines shows the way it's done. A convenient chorus girl is a handy companion at a time like this, especially when she's willing to work backstage. Ta-da-da! How do you like my new tie? Well, sir, when I see a tie like that, I get an irresistible urge. Hope you don't mind much. Hey, what gives? Oh, all right, if you're going to be that way about it. How it's done in a moment. This calls for 2 identical ties. Tuck the wide end of the second tie into the knot of the first. It's the second tie that's cut off, while the first is stuck into the shirt, waiting for its magical appearance. The lady sees a flower, the lady wants a flower. A flower, you say, have a whole bouquet. A cardboard shirt stiffener from the laundry is bent into a cylinder, and then anybody can produce a sweet-smelling corsage. For you, mademoiselle, merci. The corsage is up his left sleeve. His fingers catch it as the cardboard cylinder comes off his arm. A tricky pass, and voila. Want to win friends and be a jolly good fella? Show your skill at parlor gags like this chap. Take a companion's hat, preferably a new hat, and spin a cigar on top of it. See how quickly you can make friends? How to spin the cigar in a moment. Put a straight pin through the crown of the hat from the inside. Stick the cigar on the pin and twirl it. Is there an ashtray handy? Oh, well. A lover of art is examining the painting. Very interesting. Oh, yes, I like that. Where's the next one? Oh, we must unfold our backbone to reach way up here. Not bad. Turn around, fella. Let us in on the secret of your hasty growth. Well, that's a gruesome gadget. I'll bet it's good for mopping the floors, too. Hey, lady, don't look now, but you have a visitor. What's the matter? Aren't you used to having a man floating around the house? Take it slow. Maybe he's not so ghostly as he looks. Here he comes again. This time he gets a real welcome and a helping hand with his toga. My, what thin legs you have. I mean you, Grandpa, you. Want to see me press a coin right through the table? Well, put your hand on top of mine. No, the other one. All right, fine. I'll press hard. Gone, isn't it? Here it is, out from under the table. How to do it in a moment. The girl was directed to change hands, remember? He uses that diversion to drop the coin in his left sleeve. He retrieves it as he puts his left hand under the table, presumably to catch the coin as it's pressed through. It's a good trick. There's nothing like a big crunchy piece of celery. But hold on a minute. Here's something you can do with a radish that you can't do with a celery. Watch. How to do it in a moment. Put a radish in your mouth beforehand. Pretend to put radish number 2 in your left hand, but actually palm it in your right. Clap your head with your empty left hand. Radish number 1 pops out of your mouth. Borrow your thimble, dear? It's on his finger, and he's going to push it through his handkerchief. Without a hole, we trust. There it is. Watching from the rear, we see that the finger he shows with the thimble on it is not the finger that goes under the handkerchief. Then it's a simple matter of transferring the thimble to the covered finger, giving the illusion of having punched the thimble through the handkerchief. Nimble thimble, wouldn't you say? Well, if it isn't Sleeping Beauty with a beard. Here's a party stunt that startles folks a bit until they take another look. Show you what it is in a moment. The beard is a girl's crowning glory. The mouth and nose are drawn on her forehead with lipstick as she hangs her head over the end of a couch. My, how you've changed. Here's a good-hearted fella. He's going to give away the shirt off his back. And believe me, nobody'll be more surprised than he. Well, we'll rouse him from his concentration in a moment to show him how it's done. With the coat buttoned up, nobody'd guess that the shirt is only lying across the man's shoulders and held in place by a couple front buttons. It's a simple matter to put it up behind the man's head. Like that. What some people won't do for a gag. Open up, brother. I want a good look at those tonsils. This is the kind of exhibition that could best utilize the enormous talents of a hippopotamus, if you happen to have one handy around the house. If not, then an eager amateur will do. Quite a mouthful. Ugh. From a closer angle, we see how the illusion of head swallowing is created. Don't they have fun? This paper trick needs no practice. Each person has a 2-inch wide strip of paper formed into a continuous ring and is cutting it down the middle so as to have 2 rings. But look at this. The girl gets 1 long ring. He gets 2 interlocking rings. The answer in a moment. To get the single long ring, put 1 twist in the paper when forming the original loop. To get the interlocking rings, add a 2nd twist. Try it. What goes on here? This wiseacre's about to punch the end of his cane through that hat. Hey, look! Oh, that's my hat! Relax, no damage. There was, of course, no real damage done to the hat, which is only creased, and the cane jerked up and down that crease. It's not the kind of gag to pull on the high blood pressure type. Makes a good illusion, though, doesn't it? Take a card, the ace of spades. Put it back on the top of the deck. He cuts the deck and fans out the cards. An upturned 5 is his clue to throw off the next 5 cards, and the 6th is the ace of spades. Prepare the deck beforehand by putting an upturned 5 on the bottom of the deck, then 5 cards beneath it. The chosen card is placed on the top of the deck is cut, and the trick works itself. You can't miss. See? Here's a trick to show children, and then teach them how to do it themselves. 2 little birds sitting on a hill, one named Jack, the other named Jill. Fly away, Jack. Fly away, Jill. Come back, Jack. Come back, Jill. Adhesive tape is put on each forefinger. Now, this is Jack. Seems to fly away, but He's really here all the time. Simple, and the small fry love it. Here's a queen. Back in the deck she goes. The deck is cut several times. Now he's going to make that queen rise right up out of the pack like this. You don't think so? Watch. How it's done in a moment. In cutting the deck, be sure to keep the queen on top. Then it's simply a matter of using the little finger to raise her up above the other cards. Your queen, sir. Can you make an egg stand on end? Ah, sure thing. Easy. Couldn't be too hard. Or could it? Ah, who wants to balance an egg anyhow? Nothing to it when you know how. Prepare yourself with a little mound of salt on the tablecloth. Blow away the excess grains, and the salt holding the egg in balance won't be visible. Simple. The best way to hold onto a man is to keep him tied up. And this poor fellow has to figure out a way to get that ring on the rope without untying either end. I don't think he can do it. But he does. He'll show you how in a moment. You start off with another ring up your sleeve. File the one she gives you, slide the concealed one down, and the pass is complete. Cute trick, I think you'll agree, huh? Watch this, young lady. Fingertips on top of table. Table will follow the fingertips into the air, defying the laws of gravity and impressing an impressionable young miss. How it's done in a moment. It's magic, all right, but the table is helped along in its rise by a couple rulers the boys have stuck up their sleeves and under the table edge. You can choose a variety of weapons, but ordinary rulers will do.